Hey there again. Sorry about that. Again, my internet is doing that thing. I believe it's the devil doing that. He doesn't like all this stuff to get out. But anyways, so what I was, I hope everybody will come back in. If not, you'll see it later. Um, oh, let's see. Hope y'all like my crazy ponytails. I do this. I braid it myself, and it's crazy because I'm braiding dreadlocks all together into these ponytails, and it's hard to do. I realize, man, some folks are talented because it literally hurts my arms. Anyways, that's off the track. So, anyways, yeah. So we're back. Let me get back to what I was saying. So, on. So I posted that thing that says, how can you have black friends, listen to black artists, love black culture, and be silent when black people are murdered? And apparently, that hit a bunch of nerves. Um, People got a little kind of crazy. But I had some people, first, let me tell you the people that were doing so awesome that were, oh, hold on. Okay, so here again, let me. I have to read this because this is one of the last things that happened. So this is Pernell McDaniel, and this person looks like a white dude. He says, "I have been victimized by police. Bad cops don't just harass black people. Bad cops don't care so much about what color you are. They get a high from domination and control. They will meet any resistance, whether actual or perceived, with enough force to fulfill their need to control every situation. They live for excitement of resistance, and they fantasize about something." And he goes on and on. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that um, expressive thought because I'm aware there are so many people that go through problems with police. But Purnell, uh, this is something different. There is again, talking about systemic racism, there is an ingredient, a portion of most police departments where exists some racism in some officers. And even, I mean, look, recently things were even caught on recorded from a car where three officers in North Carolina are sitting together, and it got recorded on their car recording whatever device scenario, or their cams on their jackets or something. And anyways, and you heard about it. So the element is there, and this is another one of those gaslighting things. I should have added that because there's a lot of people that say, "Well, no, this happens to us too." Look, many things happen to many people. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the element that is strictly, predominantly, that element that predominantly um, is affixed on black people. That their intentions that are bad are excuse me intentions that are bad are focused on the black community. And until you, again, this is the point behind this conversation, because until you guys realize it, until white America sees that these things are happening and acknowledges it for what it is and stops trying to compare it to something else, then we're not going to get even close to curing this problem. And I'm telling you, it just like everything, it gets worse before it gets better. Uh, yeah, I hear you, Joe. What's up? It costs nothing to enjoy black contributions. Ta-da! Very well said, sir. Um, so yeah, so you have to do your part in acknowledging that the racism and systemic racism exists, and you can't compare um, uh, black violence by police, some police against black people. You can't just sit there and try to flip it and say, well, but we do it too, or we get it too, because that's not the point. I've seen white people get in trouble and get treated badly by police and whatever as well. That's what happened. That exists and has existed since day one, I guess. But that's not the point we're talking about now. We're talking about what America has done to black people from start to present, and how they have systematically killed and held down, oppressed a whole people, a whole section of people, black people, and we have a totally different experience in this country, and probably on this planet as a whole, than white people do. And it's not a always me, it's not a cry me a river, it's the truth, it's factual. And that a great portion of white people, white America, acknowledges this, and another great portion of white people don't. So if a great portion of white people are acknowledging it, and all of us are acknowledging it, but then there's this other subsection of white people that aren't acknowledging it, who's probably right? You got the people that it's happening to. You got some of the people that identify and are white, acknowledging it, from the high ups to my neighbors, but yet there's a subsection of white people that don't want to admit it. Why? How is that? We got us and part of you acknowledging it, but then there's other people, the other yous that aren't. So it makes no sense. We used to say that when we what was that expression? When if everybody says that you're mean, if all your friends say you're mean, and all my friends say you're mean, and whoever else says you're mean, well, the only person that's not saying you're mean is you, you're probably mean. Okay, so anyways, so that's that. I want to give shout outs to my boy Christopher Gillard, and let's see, Leanne Leland, and let's see who else, Margaret O'Malley, let's see, Paige Christopher Craig, who else? Scott Anthony, and all right. So here, let me keep going. So after that thing, and if you're just joining me, let me read the post again, because so you'll understand where I'm going. So there was a post that I made earlier this week about how can you have black friends listen to black artists, love black culture, and be silent when black people are murdered. And so again, it sparked a lot of conversation, and so I wanted to give you guys portions of this and the folks that took place. So remember earlier I told you that there was a person who said to me, and many people have said it, but this person just said it. This person says, his name is Ted Luckadoo, Luckadoo. And we have hundreds of friends in common somehow on Facebook. And so please look and see if he's one of yours. And he says racism doesn't have a chance of going away until people stop listening to the race baiters. So again, another person who hasn't walked outside, listened to the radio, watched TV, or had a conversation with anybody other than, I guess, maybe the people in his house, since I don't know when, because he is saying that it is people like me who keep racism going. I know that it's been here way before I even existed, and it's still occurring in a major, massive way as we speak. I just gave in the beginning of this, I gave some of the breakdown of systemic racism. So, I'm explaining everything. These things exist, and the people that are in these subsections, that's my word for today, I guess, systems, be it judicial, educational, factories, corporations, police, whatever system, are and have been dominated by white people since only uh, uh, we were only identified as property. So that's how it's been, and 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 because of the fact that we're not slaves, quote unquote, anymore, then somebody has to always say that it doesn't exist unless we talk about it. But we're talking about it because it exists. It's kind of like chicken and the egg, I guess. Maybe that's how somebody looks at it. I don't. It exists. I live it. I know it. It's there. All right. So then, let's see. I had a Ashley Burbage who actually was speaking some really cool stuff on one of my first shows, and he actually was a neighbor of mine in South Carolina. And he said, Obi, are you also talking about the blacks being killed by blacks? Or the 1% of blacks killed by white cops? Serious question, brother. I was blown away to hear that from that person, but I I don't know what place he got that number from. But let me say this. Maybe this will catch your ears. If it was, which it's not, but if there was only 1% of black people killed by white cops, if it was only 1%, that's 1% too damn much. Let me say that. But it's a much greater percentage. Do your homework, sir. Okay? Very important. But this is, again, one of those things that people do. They hear these statistics that are put on maybe a Fox News or wherever, and some right-wing website, and then they just start spewing those things. Not because they know. Let me say it again. Not because they know, but because they hear it, and so then they, regurgitate it. It's just, it's nonsense, but I guess that people are fine with doing that. I prefer that when somebody talks to me about something, I prefer to do the research, so then I can give them some stuff. And I already went through this with you guys. I did a whole episode, I don't remember which one, 3 or 4, where I actually gave you numbers, literal numbers from various sites. So please go back and watch some of my earlier live streams, because I gave mad crazy numbers and sites so that you could find the numbers of the murders since that were, I think I just used the last 10 years. So your facts are horribly wrong. As a matter of fact, it was the same day where I read you a list of more than 75 black people that were murdered by police, and it just within 2 years, I think it was 3 years. So again, go back to some of my earlier episodes, and you'll see that I present you with the facts, and so those kind of things need not be said. But so let me get to the major one here. I started to mention, preface this earlier in the show. There was a young lady, her name is Stacy Stouffer, I think. I don't know if it's pronounced Stouffer, Stoffer, something. But anyways, and she writes a message to me, stop spreading hate, Obi Morant. No one wants anyone to be hurt or killed. How many of your white friends would, I think it was supposed to say take, but it says TSKE, so take a bullet for you and have your back. Think about this question for a while. We all grew up together and were family, period. You wasn't raised to think this way. Be careful who you call friends. So I proceeded to respond to her, and I said, unfortunately, I don't think you're listening, reading, and truly understanding what this is all about. And if you listen to any of my live streams, especially 2.5 hours that I just did last Wednesday, then you would have heard me speak on friends. And I said, and of course I invited her to come on the show, and then since then she has dropped me as a friend on Facebook. But and then many other people started, I guess, trying to talk to her, and then a couple of people got removed, and so it got convoluted probably at some point before she unfriended me. But But I talked about this thing about friends, and I threw challenges to my white friends, and I haven't seen now. Since last week, must admit that a lot of people are engaging on here. So I'm going to assume that that means that they're also engaging with folks, or hopefully they're engaging with folks that are close to them, other white folks, and so on. But I got on here pissed off talking to you guys about how so few white people that were supposed to be my friends who haven't said a word. I look all over their Facebooks. There's nothing talking about racism, nothing talking about, and except for the ones who are talking against, like racism doesn't exist. People that are Trumpians and all that stuff. So let me be clear when I say that I still don't believe enough of my white friends are stepping to the plate on my behalf. So why would I think that that person, I don't know who she's talking about, would jump in front of a bullet for me? I would doubt if they'd jump in front of a raindrop for me. So I'm confused about that. Now, do I have some good white friends? Absolutely. I know plenty of white people that are cool as heck, musicians and artists and politicians and so many more people that's just really cool, lovable, and do stand up for with us and for us against racism. But let me tell you that there is a huge, and if you look at my page, some people have unfriended me, but I'm still close to 5,000 friends. And I would say that probably 60, maybe close to 70% are white folks. And none of them, except the ones that I mentioned to you, I would say maybe 20 or 25 of my friends that are white have said anything, anywhere, at least to me or on the Facebook platform, about being against racism or wanting to fight against racism. And I might be saying that a little low. I mean, we're probably 100 and something. So please forgive me. And if I didn't mention you, I apologize. I love you. You know I do. You guys who are my friends, you know my heart. You know what I'm doing here. But it's way far not enough. There are not enough white people that are my friends that are stepping up to the table and speaking out or doing something for black people, with black people, against racism. Let me say it again. There are not enough. There are not close to enough of my friends who are white, who are stepping to the plate about racism, fighting racism, standing with us, standing against the racist people. Just say it. That's just point blank. There's bottom line. I can stroll down my friends right now. If I need to list everybody, sure, I could do that. But yes, Joe, I hear you. White people need to be very careful when they obtain racial information if they truly care. That is correct, my brother. And that is what I am saying to people. You must care about where you're getting your information, because we're not having an educated conversation if part of the conversation ain't educated. Did I just say ain't? That's a point. I'm just telling you. So anyways, so I had several people that stepped to the plate. Chris Stokes, my boy again, who I still ain't heard from, man. You better call me. Let's see. Let's see. Wait, this person. That was silent. Right. Thank you. So somebody even stepped up like that, because there are people on here that were even talking about like she said, nobody wants people to get killed. But that's not the case. We've seen that. We've just seen it. We've just seen several black people be murdered. We just saw that. People are marching about it right now. People that don't know about the historical side of this, that are just seeing what's happening between the last few years, are out there marching peacefully. So I'm confused with anybody who can question the content of this platform, what I'm bringing to you. It doesn't make any sense. So, but anyways, I want to thank Ashley Hibbs. She also was awesome. She got a little testy at some point while she was talking, but uh, like I said, you guys got to try to hold it down, keep it peaceful, because the only way that we're going to literally get these points across. Another shout out to CJ Morant, my nephew, CJ Carriel, my dog. You put some threw down some logic again. That was nice. But so yeah, so and then of course the Stouffer person, it just got to be real ugly after a while, and the Ashley Hibbs even posted something that she DM'd her, a private message she posted up here, which was a real hateful message, and of course after that, after all of this, then um, she unfriended me. Very interesting. And then, of course, you have John Hook, who says the real racist is a Democrat, and he has a picture of Biden, and and then there's another person. This person's name is Beverly Pridgen Davidson. That's Beverly Beverly Pridgen Pridgen, which I guess is her maiden name, and last name is Davidson, Davidson. This person says, just because we weren't marching in the streets or rioting doesn't mean we are silent. So, what you did was you just convoluted your own statement, and let me be clear again because I talked about this earlier today. 99.9% of these protests that have been happening since the pandemic, since Ahmaud Arbery, since George Floyd, since Breonna Taylor, it can go on. 99.9% of the protests are peaceful. There are elements of folks, white, Hispanic, Asian American, black, and whatever other nationalities, there's an element that are doing some negative things. But again, let me again make you aware that it is being uncovered now that there are some elements. For example, at the Taco Bell in, I think it was Houston or something. I'm sorry that I can't remember the exact place, but it was a Wendy's. It was a Wendy's that got burnt down, and literally you saw it was a white person that was smashing the windows before the whole fire setting scenario went on. Let me also say that they found that person and another person that was in Oregon, Portland, that those people are related to right-wing groups, racist groups, and that they're sending people out to infiltrate the peaceful protest, and they're starting the instigating the smashing things and all that. So again, you have to be careful. Like my brother said, you got to be careful about what information you're deciding to take in. And let me say something again too. It's very important that we understand that there are people that start these false rumors, and they're people that are very high up in government, and they're starting these things, and you guys are eating them. You're swallowing them whole, and you're just taking it for that's the word. And I'm telling you, you are so wrong, and you're gonna find that out. Here's the point: is that with this platform and many others that people are providing out there, you're getting a platform where you can actually learn something if you have any openness. If you have any heart, you're going to learn something here. You're going to listen. Like I listen to other people. I listen to people when they tell me why they're racist, because some people tell me. The messages that I get during the week, I have so many people that I'm so proud of after conversations, and they're trying to understand and attempting to to do things that are opposite of their racist beliefs now. Such a blessing. One day I'll write you guys out some stuff and post some stuff, once I have these people's permission. But I can't even believe it, the blessing that God's given me here, where I'm able to talk to people that truly hate people because of the color of their skin, and they are changing their ways because they took the time to want to know. They had the things that me and other folks are talking about on the threads within these conversations are invoking question marks in their brains. I'm giving people some knowledge mixed in with my thoughts and experiences, and inviting you guys to do the same. And with that, it's having some effect, and I'm blessed, and I'm happy, and I can't even believe it. It's awesome. And so, but the point is that there are some people out there like that are infiltrating these some of these protests and turning things ugly. And then you also have the president who is sending military folks in to do his bidding, I guess you call it, and that incites more violence, and that incites chaos, and I understand why he's doing it. It's not understandable. It's not good. It's very divisive. It's very hateful. It's very racist. No denying it. It's unequivocally racist. It is that, and for him to do that to American people, American citizens, human beings, who are protesting on behalf of black people, black lives. That's just a shame on this president. So, anyways, so that went on, and of course, then, so let's see. And I mean, like somebody, even another cool person, Scott Collins. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there was this boat thing where a bunch of people that support Trump got on boats, and they sail here or there or whatever with these Trump supporting flags supporting Trump and whatever. But some friends of mine sent me a picture, and I'll have to put this online at some point, but I don't want to do it now until more people understand why I'm doing this, because then they'll think I'm being hateful when I literally just think it's funny. But they put a picture of these two white guys on a boat. One of the guys has a fist up, and the other guy has a hand like he's waving, and they have a flag on their boat that says Trump sucks. so I don't know. That was in the middle of all of this heated conversations that people were having. And by the way, the thing that I read you again, there were plenty of people on here that were responding to the negative things that people were saying, whereas several weeks ago it would have just been me responding back. So I think that's awesome. Again, another show that things are that this live stream is starting to be effective, and I'm so happy that people are touched by it. And please keep watching. Please keep on, taking part. If anybody ever has anything that they want to talk about, type it in here. Oops, I forgot to scroll. My bad. Hold on a minute. Hey, let's see. Not everyone is comfortable with putting things like this on Facebook. Not making excuses, but just saying. I try not to get to arguments on here, but I will speak to people in person. Yep, true. I feel that. And listen, that's why I said this is supposed to be something to initiate the understanding, to spark the questions, and to spark the conversation. And then I hope that people are going away and doing that. Look, you're not supposed to just be talking to me or just be talking to the conversations that I'm having. No, you're supposed to be talking to each other. That's the point of this. It's not about just taking part in this specific conversation. No, this is about taking part in the conversation. that you guys tune in here. That's awesome, and I hope that I'm able to impart some good stuff on people, and and yes, or in a PM. But I'm hoping that I'm giving you guys some good food for thought, which will then be action, which is the name of the program, Food for Action. I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen here, is that people are going to get up off of their seats and go out and talk to people. Go outside and spread the word that racism is ugly, nasty, horrible, evil, and whatever. Go do that. It doesn't have to be with me or with anybody else that's you see typing in or commenting or whatever. It has to be happening, period. Somewhere, somehow. If you are sitting back and you're just watching this and then it has no effect whatsoever, maybe part of it is that I'm the wrong person to deliver the message for you. Maybe. Or maybe you just sitting back because you don't feel like there's anything you can or should or need to do. It's not your role, or it's not your whatever. I've heard so many things, not my place, or I can't help everybody, and all these things. No, you can help somebody. You might not be able to help everybody. You might not be able to talk to everybody, but you can talk to somebody. You can help somebody. You can stand up for somebody somewhere in your neighborhood, at your job. Look, I guarantee you that most of America at some point in their lifetime has or will or is seeing something happening that is racist wherever you are or have been or are going. You're going to see it. You're going to have it as an experience. And you are going to choose. Rather, you're going to help or hurt the situation. There's no other choice. You're either going to help by being active and interceding and helping physically or verbally, or through emails or through whatever. You're going to do in some form of communication outwardly. You're going to either do that or you're going to do nothing. And if you do nothing, again, you're not me. You don't have my job. You don't have other people's jobs who are doing this type of thing or out there protesting. Maybe you don't feel called to do that. But you have to be, as a human being, feeling some kind of conviction inside that you should do something for someone who is black. At this time, there's no way that because if you don't feel that it is your responsibility, then I question your character. I can only do that. I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury, but I can question your character because, and especially if you're a friend of mine, and you're doing or saying nothing, I question that. You should question that. Anybody around you should question that. It just because of how intense and things are, how divisive that the tops of government are being with this whole racism issue, and then obviously seeing the murders and seeing the oppression happening and seeing the inequality going on and seeing all the people who are out there in media and sports and music and acting and whatever else they're doing, companies and corporations who are stepping to the plate and trying to express or at least do something to help or aid our fight for against racism. How can you be the lone folk who just say you'll just do nothing? How can you say that you can be my friend and just do nothing? Not anything now. I mean for black people. How can you just do nothing? I've said this for weeks now, that if you do not stand with us, you do stand against us. There's not a middle. There's no middle. The way in which you stand, that's up to you. The way in which you represent, that's up to you. The way who you choose to talk to or who you choose to help, that's up to you. But they must be black. They must be. Now you can help other people as well. You can help everybody in the world that needs help, if that's what you can do and feel called to do. But if you are doing nothing, I question you. How can you and how dare you do nothing? I stand for people. I stand for other folk, other lifestyles. I stand for people. And everybody who knows me knows that. So I'm here and I'm pouring my heart out to you guys every week, and I'm putting all of my brain power and into studying, into reading, into going. I mean, look, I read so many people's Facebooks. I probably know, like, these people don't even get how well I know them now. And so I have to do that, and I'm answering people's messages, young and older folks, and I'm talking to people. People are calling me, people are texting me, people are messengering me, and I'm going through all this stuff during the week to give of myself, because I can't do some of the other stuff. I can't go out and do a protest. I'll fall out, because of this chronic Lyme disease battle that I fight. You guys know it. Sometimes I can't even look at the screen. Sometimes I have to have my dark vision glasses on. Sometimes I have to have, I'm like, I can't even sit right, and so on. So this is a blessed day today, because I've been able to do this so far without any complications too much. But the point is that I do this, and I give my all into making sure that I'm here with you guys Wednesdays and Sundays. So can you please, my white friends, my white people, can you please do something? And tell us about it. You know what I mean? Look, not for, pats on the back or nothing. We're not, that's not what this is about. But tell us, express it. I want to know that people are out there doing something. Amanda lets me know, my brothers let me know, cousin lets me know, some of my friends let me know, but I want to know from everybody. If you're hearing this stuff, if this is having some effect and helping you make a decision to help black people in the fight against racism, let me know. I want to know this thing. I want to know that people are getting engaged. Rather you're, like I said, rather it's in actions, physically out there, maybe protesting or joining a protest, or if it's just having extra conversations about this with other white people that you wouldn't normally talk to, or if it's whatever it is that you can do to aid black people, to aid us, help us with this fight, because we need you. Look, you need us, and we need you. So we're supposed to do this. I mean, I believe in God. I told you this 1,000 times. So I believe that God created all of us in His image, and so because of that, then I will help everybody, anybody. Look, Ku Klux Klan dude could come down my street right now and have a heart attack in the street. I will go help that person. But you guys can't even talk to people? You gotta do something. You gotta engage. Don't just engage with me and with your friends. Engage with folks that you're finding out may be racist, may have racist tendencies, however you want to term it. Whatever you need to fuel you into going out and doing this. I encourage you, I ask you, I beg you, I implore you upon you, please get out there and join this fight. It's important to all of us. It's important to your children if you have children. It's important to your grandchildren if you have grandchildren. It's important to your wives or husbands or wives or whoever, partners and whoever. It's important to your co-workers and their families and so on and so forth, for us to be selfless, not selfish, and not Do you know what I mean? Yeah, love you too, Amanda. Go go to sleep. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, it's 8:30, 6. 4:30 comes early. What? Am I missing something? I don't know. Okay. Maybe she'll explain that to me. Yeah. Yeah. So I know that these kind of conversations, when I do these posts, they're going to keep on happening. This morning, I'm sure you guys saw, I don't get a lot of sleep these days because of what I go through physically. And so at a certain point, I thought about I was thinking about this whole experience of doing this and trying to help either impart or at least help, like I said, start the conversation with folks about this real thing called racism. And then I thought of just the basic thing. We all say as Christians that with God, with Jesus, nothing is impossible. And that's a saying you hear. With God, nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible. Then I thought about this. With God, with Jesus, racism is impossible. You can't be a Christian and be a racist. You can't be a Christian and mean racist. It's impossible. God don't put that in people. No people. Zero people. And again, He created us all. So I'm in school bus driver. Okay, gotcha. Oh man, hey, I'll be praying for you guys. All you people who are sending your kids back to school, I pray for you all, and I hope that that the schools that your children attend are practicing the social safe distancing and masks and all that, because as people know, there are some youth who succumb to this disease, but there are also some youth who can catch it but be what's the word again? They're asymptomatic, and so they can bring it home to you, but they won't have any effects. They can catch it from somebody, or somebody anybody who has it, in other words. So the transfer of the disease can happen from a person who is either asymptomatic or so on, comes in contact with a person who has the disease. So get real, folks. Don't let people give you those false stories, and then we all of a sudden have to be crying our eyes out and crying from our hearts because our children are put in harm's way, and then in turn put their families in harm's way when they get home. It's a sad piece of time, place and time right now when it comes to that. And I don't talk about it a lot, but it definitely, Amanda, when you said that, I definitely, I can't even imagine, kids on a school bus, kids in a classroom. I had a very good smudgekin. My smudgekin was awesome when she was little, and she'd do everything you told her. But there are some kids that will take off the mask, that will, get up and be, the wild children. Like I was a wild kid, always getting in trouble when I was in elementary school and all that. I could never sit down and never shut up. I guess you guys can tell that. And so I know there's millions of kids that are like that alive today, and in your families, and you gotta take care of them. Please don't expose your children to unsafe situations. Please, please, please. So the disease is real. The pandemic is real. Nobody's making it up, as people try to say. The death numbers are real. You got high, middle school, and elementary school. Yeah, so that's crazy. Because big people don't know how to act either. So be careful. I've seen the 18 plus, 21 plus in the bars and at the pool parties and at the whatever. And then 2 weeks later, 40, 50, 60, 75 kids of these kids at the party now have the disease. And they brought it to whoever and however many people after that. So you got to be careful, folks. Be careful out there. I love you all. You got to be careful. You got to love one another. And you got to love your neighbors. And I love you all. And again, I want to thank you guys for helping me surpass 1,000 plus folks who have contributed, either watching, listening, to all of between all of my live streams. It's close to now we're probably a couple hundred away from 2,000 people that have tuned in either live or looked later through between all of my streams that I've done so far. Today is the 16th show, so that's kind of cool. And so this started out as something that I didn't plan when I was sad watching the video of the George Floyd situation, and it just took me back to other things that I'd seen growing up. And I was gonna type something on Facebook, and then I couldn't type. My hands kind of didn't do what they're supposed to do. Maybe that's because of my disease, or maybe that was God, because the next minute I pressed record or live, and this thing was born 16 episodes ago. So it's really, really cool. It's a blessing to be able to do this, and I pray that everybody will grab a hold and to what's happening here, and that all of my white friends and the rest of white America will acknowledge the problems, as other white Americans have done, high and low, here and there. There are so many people who have acknowledged this and are doing their part, and I pray that my friends and others will join in to do the same thing. So for this week, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Make sure you listen to both parts. If you're not here live, understand that there are two parts, because my internet service out here where I live sucks, and so because of that, it shut down for a minute, and I had to boot back up. Also, next week I'm going to try to have, Wednesday I'm going to try to have everything down so that you can watch either from YouTube, you can watch from Facebook, or there's this other site that I'll tell you guys about. And so there'll be 3 ways to watch. So that's going to be pretty cool. Anyways, for now, I love you again. You guys be safe out there. Be safe for your babies, your kids. Be safe for your families. Be safe for your neighbors. Be safe for your friends. Be safe for everybody that you don't know. Look out for humanity. Look out for people. All people. Especially black people. Listen, I love you. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to turn up the track. little thing I put together before I came on. You guys take care of yourselves. Peace and love. God bless you. And I'll see you Wednesday night at 7. And I'll see you every Sunday as well. For the rest of my life, until I can't breathe. Take care of yourself, though. I'll see you Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Food for action. God bless you guys. Same black time, same black channel. Same black time, same black channel.